Hey guys, your material bag should have these things in it. It should have a watercolor tray, it should have a cup for water, it should have a brush, a pencil, and a black crayon. When you fill up your cup for water today, this cup has a little girl in it, and I need you to make sure you don't fill up your cup further than her chin. She will drown if you fill up more than that, and it will also spill over your table and your computer. So today we are drawing some corn on the cob, and we are going to be making some heirloom corn. Okay, this is a very colorful piece of corn. Each kernel of the corn should be a different color. So what you're going to start out doing to make this heirloom corn here is we're going to start with the shape of the corn. So the corn is actually, I'm going to draw it lightly right here with my pencil. The corn is actually an oval, with the tip on this end getting a little bit more pointy and keeping the back end a little more curvy, right? So I have my basic corn there. And the reason I'm drawing lightly is I'm going to go back in with my black crayon and go over it. We're going to do a little bit of a crayon resist. Then down here, you're going to be adding in the husks. Okay, the husks are the pieces of leaf that cover up your corn, okay? They could all go one direction. They're basically curved lines that are going on top of each other over here. And I'm connecting them like this, okay? So my corn has husk coming off the top. Once you like your shape, you're going to then start drawing your kernels. And I like to start at the tip of my corn, okay? So I know that the pieces will fit together. And now it's going to be my job to draw these ovals in a way that makes my corn look like it is three-dimensional. So your kernels are going to stay about the same size. They're not going to get much bigger as they go. So I'm thinking about drawing these in a rainbow going around my cob. So they're kind of arcing right around. And you just keep going, adding your kernels as you go. Don't let them get too big, otherwise they will not be realistic. Drawing around the end of your corn and keep on going. So guys, you're going all the way up with your corn on the cob, okay? I drew all of my shapes out, and then I'm going to start going over my husk lines. I don't have to do all of them, just as long as I have some outlines on here. I'm going to go ahead and get them as neatly as possible on here. And when I am done, I'm going to start painting. Now, if I have areas where I didn't stay on top of those pencil lines, I'm just going to quickly erase them out. Just make sure you draw lightly and then it'll erase. Be careful erasing your crayon because your crayon will smudge. Okay. All right, I am ready to paint now. So each of these is going to be a different value. Okay, you can use all different colors. So I have my cup of water with paint. Remember, it's water, paint, paper. Never leave your brush in the cup of water, okay? And I'm going to dip it in my paint, and I'm going to go ahead and paint in. While I have this color, I might add it a little bit throughout my corn, not painting a whole row anywhere. I'm just spreading this color. And actually, as I keep going without adding more paint to my brush, look what's happening to that color. That color is getting lighter, okay? So as there is less paint and more water, it is a lighter value. I'm going to switch colors, switching down the row. And you don't have to paint it right next to the other color, but I am just to keep my brush moving across my page. Again, my color is getting lighter and lighter as it travels. Water, paint, and then paper. Now this time it started pretty light, so I may have to go back in and get more color very quickly. Get a little bit more water, paint on my brush, and I'm going to keep going. And you might at some point want to start at the other end so that it's not dark at one end and light at the other. Okay, guys, and then once you have filled in all those areas, notice how I have light values and I have dark values, or bright colors and much more muted colors. I'm going to go ahead and paint in my leaves for my corn, or my shucks. So I'm going to go ahead, and they don't have to all be green. Just adding different colors in up here. If you wanted to make them all green, you could. There's definitely going to be some green. There's definitely going to be some brown, some yellow. See if you can get a variety of colors. Notice mine is mixing, and I'm not stressing out about that. These colors up here, eventually I'd love them to get a little more muted. So I'm going to add a little water on top of that one. Keep going. Add a little more yellow next door. And filling in all of these colors. It's totally fine to add some blue and purple and green up here, because this isn't super realistic, this painting. Oh my goodness. Now, so what I just did, that was called wet on wet. I had a wet paintbrush and there was wet right next to where I was painting. So just be careful of that. I don't mind it because I'm mixing my colors up here. But as you go, be careful of putting your wet paintbrush right next to a place where you just painted, because the water will tend to bleed. You can dry your brush a little bit by wiping off the extra water before you go ahead and dip it in the paint. It's also going to result in a darker color. So that is what we are creating today, guys. I look forward to seeing your corns, or your heirloom corn, on your paper. Okay. The goal is by the end to have some really brightly colored ears of corn. Nice job today.